Hey, what's up everybody? Rage Quitting here. I'm on my Juggernaut tunnels, and today we're gonna do an updated guide to Vengeance. So let's go over the utilities real quick. Um, so for Vengeance, the most important thing you need to know about it is whenever you leap, you gain immunity to interrupt, stuns, knockdowns, and incapacitating effects for 4 seconds from this thing here in your tree, Brawn. Okay, so with that, we also take this point here, Unstoppable. Force Charge grants Unstoppable, granting immunity to movement impairing and push or pull for 4 seconds. So with this passive talent you already have from being Vengeance, and then combined with this talent here, Unstoppable, you are immune to all CC in this game for 4 seconds every time you leap. Okay, and the name of the game with Vengeance Juggernaut is to just keep on getting those leaps off as often as you can, and by leap I mean Force Charge. So in the top here, we're going to take Warmonger. Getting attacked reduces the active cooldown of Force Charge by 1 second. It can only occur once every 1.5 seconds. So your Force Charge has a passive. Let me move this parse here. Your Force Charge already has a cooldown of 14 seconds, but you could have your charge back up in like 7, 8, 9 seconds, depending on how many times you're being attacked. With this talent here, very important that you take this so that you can get your Force Charges off more often, okay? And then we're going to take Overwhelm. Ravage immobilizes the target for 3 seconds. The reason why we're taking this is because in the tree here, your Shatter is another ability that you have. It does weapon damage, and then it applies a dot. But every time you use a Shatter, it resets the cooldown on Ravage. So pretty much for our opener, we leap in, we get our CC immunity and damage reduction, we Ravage root the target, and then we apply all of our dots. And after you apply your Shatter dot, your Ravage will then reset so that you can go ahead and reset the root and root your target again, okay, keeping them in place. So we're going to take Ravage because we get resets on Ravage and it gives us a free root. So we're going to take that. And then the next one here, we're going to take Pooled Hatred. So whenever your movement is impaired, so anytime you're slowed, pushed, stunned, you gain a 10% damage bonus to your next ability that consumes rage, and it can stack up to 5 times. So pretty much anytime somebody is throwing down like a AoE kind of slow thing, like snipers have, sometimes some snipers have that talent where they throw down the diversion. It reduces your accuracy by 45%. Sometimes they spec into the talent that it slows the area too. So sometimes I'll sit in that purposely just to gain the 5 stacks of this Pooled Hatred, and then leap on them and hit them with an impale that hits for like 45k or whatever. But so Pooled Hatred, very strong. So with Vengeance Jug, you leap in, you get your CC immunity and damage reduction from being Vengeance, right? You fight, and if they CC you when your CC immunity wears out, then you just gain a damage buff. So this is just passive free damage that you don't really have to think about. So we take this point here, and it's very strong. Okay, and then for me personally, they changed these trees up a little bit. I like to take Strangulate, reduce the cooldown on Force Choke by 15 seconds. And the reason why I do that is also because I take this cooldown here for reduce the cooldown of Force Push and Intimidating Roar. So Force Push resets your Force Charge, and you want to Force Charge as often as you can when we're playing Vengeance. So a lower cooldown on Force Push lets you Force Charge more often. And also Intimidating Roar, which is your AoE CC ability, paralyzes up to 8 enemies. It's a soft stun, right? So if they get hit, they'll come out of it. But having a lower cooldown on this really helps a lot too when people are just dogpiling on you, and you need to keep yourself alive. So we take this, and then now that we have both of the cooldowns on Choke and on Force Push, they're on the same cooldown, and you kind of want to be using both of these. It's like kind of part of your rotation, right? Because for Vengeance Jug, right, you leap in, you get 4 seconds of CC immunity, You fight. When your 4 seconds of CC immunity wears out, you either choke them or you push them, and you get 4 more seconds of free uptime with the choke. And then you fight some more. You can throw a push in there, get another leap off. You just get more uptime and free damage. You don't want to use them back to back all the time, because then you just immediately full resolve the enemy. And if you don't know what resolve is, it's pretty much when somebody's been CC'd too many times in a short amount of time. They gain a bar called resolve, and it just means that they can't be CC'd until that resolve fades away. So you don't want to choke and push somebody like right away, because they'll just get full resolve. But just having the lower cooldown on these really helps with your rotation, basically, because you just need as much free uptime as you can get. So Strangulate, Unstoppable. And then this one you can choose between, I like to either go with Through Power. Enraged Defense increases your movement speed by 50% and grants immunity to movement impairing effects while active. So it's just another movement, immunity to movement kind of thing, with the whole theme of Juggernaut, not being able to, or Vengeance, not really being able to be controlled. So I really like that aspect of it. The other one I like is Seething Hatred. When you exit combat, the active cooldowns of Force Charge, Enrage, and Saber Throw are reduced by 100%. Sometimes I find it super useful, but other times I find it not so useful. Like if you're fighting somebody 1v1 on the side of the map, and you end up winning that fight and you're pretty healthy, then your charge is reset and you can just charge again. But other times it's not really that useful. And then the other one here, activating Enrage purges movement impairing effects and increases your movement speed by 50% for 6 seconds. This one I really like this one too, especially when you're, it's like another kiting tool that you can use to get another charge off, right? Kind of like in the same way we use Mad Dash through Victory here. Mad Dash can be used to get out of immobilize and movement impairing effects. You Mad Dash out of roots and slows, so you can create some distance and then charge back in on your target. This kind of works the same way. Unshackling Rage, activating Enrage purges movement impairing effects. So I kind of use it kind of like I would use like a Predation on my Marauder. It would be like on the same hotkey. But yeah, that's really up to you. So either these two and Through Power, or these two and then Unshackling Rage is what I would go for here. And then in Heroic, I really hate that I had to choose between Warbringer or Throne Gauntlet, because you have to absolutely take Through Passion. Okay, reduce the cooldown of Enraged Defense by 30 seconds. Enraged Defense is your self-heal when you're being attacked, your most reliable defensive skill. Like, as long as you use it at the right time, you can go from 10% health all the way to 100% health with this skill alone. And I really hate that I had to choose, between these two, because I also believe that you have to take through Victory. Being able to Mad Dash out of roots and slows to create the distance so you can get another Force Charge off. So anyway, having to pick between these two here, this is really, just preference. I might switch back to Warbringer eventually, because Warbringer is really nice. Every time you Force Charge in, you get a free heal. So that's like immediately right after you charge. That's like part of the opening rotation. It's just a lot of free, heavy hitting damage. But yeah, play with it how you want, but this is how I have it set up right now. Alright guys, so we'll go through a rotation here on the dummy. For the tactical I'm using Hemophilic Slash. So Ravage refreshes the duration of your bleeds, basically. I really like this one. There's another one that every time your bleeds crit, it lowers the cooldown on your Vengeful Slam. So that's another really good one too that I might try out. And then there's also another one that reduces the cooldown on your Enraged Defense every time you're attacked, which sounds pretty OP. So I might even try that one too. But for now, I'm using Hemophilic Slash. And then let's talk about Furious Power real quick, because so Furious Power, the new ability we got at level 72, it starts off with 4 charges. It has, it can hold 4 charges, and when you use it, it increases the damage of your next direct melee attack by 25%, and it'll use a charge every time you hit one of those attacks. So if I popped it at the beginning of the opener, it'll use it on a Ravage, it'll use another one on Impale, it'll use another one on Hue, so on and so forth, until there's 0 stacks left. And then, over the course of combat, you have a chance to gain more of those Furious Power stacks back, especially if you have the Descent of the Fearless. So the 6-set bonus, dealing damage, has a 10% chance to build a Furious Power ability charge. And every time you use it, you just gain damage. So in the beginning, I just use it for the opener, and then every time it comes off cooldown, I just use it again. But you can also save it for Impales or Hues, because those are your 2 biggest hitting abilities. If you have the time to watch the cooldown and save it for a certain one, you can do that, or you can just hit it whenever it comes off cooldown, just for some extra damage every time it comes up. But anyway, here we go. So the rotation for Vengeance, in a perfect world, right? In PvP, everything, things change all the time, but in a perfect world, your DPS rotation is as follows, right? You're going to hit your Enrage to build a bunch of rage. Then you're going to leap in, get your CC immunity and damage reduction. Okay, root them with the Ravage to keep them still. Then you apply your Impale, Shatter, and Force Scream dots. Okay, your Shatter is going to then reset your Ravage, so you can Ravage again and keep them still. And then whenever you get a Hue proc, because you'll get a free Hue proc from your tree here. Whenever you get one of these, you just throw it. Okay, so let's do like one opener here, and I'll open up the parse real quick. Just to show you guys a little bit of a parsing thing here. Alright, so here we go. Enrage, Leap, Ravage, Impale, Shatter, Force Scream, Ravage again, and if we have Hue, we're going to throw Hues. When everything is on cooldown, we're going to fill with a Vengeful Slam. Okay, so here we go. Free Hue, we're going to throw the Impale. Shatter is going to reset the Ravage. Force Scream, hit another Ravage. Okay, things are on cooldown. Hit the Slam. So just that opener right there, I got up to 18k. The timer's still going because it takes time to drop combat from this thing. But at the height of it, we had 18k here. And that rotation is pretty simple, and it just keeps rotating over and over and over. So I'll just continue here and just keep going. So Leap, Ravage, Root, Free Hue, Impale, Force Scream. We need some Rage, so hit the Enrage. Shatter resets the Ravage. Okay, hit the Slam. Impale's off cooldown, hit the Impale. Force Scream, we need some Rage, so throw a Saber Throw. Okay, and keep going here. Hue came up, Shatter resets the Ravage. Dots, everything's on cooldown, hit the Slam, get some Rage back. Okay, over and over and over and over and over. In PvP, you're gonna want to keep force charging every time you can. So whenever force charge comes off cooldown, you can back up and hit a force charge, right? So we'll do it again here. Impale, Shatter, Force Scream, Ravage, Root. Okay, Vengeful Slam. Impale's off cooldown. Impale. Okay, this is pretending like it was PvP. Go ahead and charge again. Okay, Ravage, Free Hue, Impale, Force Scream, Slam. Okay, you guys get the idea. Alright, so other tips here for Vengeance and for PvP especially, like what I like to do is I go into my interface editor here and move your buff tray. I moved mine right here next to my portrait, and then I lessen the effects per row to only 6. So this is as far as it'll expand right here. 6 buffs per row. And then, make sure you understand which way it's expanding. So I have mine to set to expand down and then expand to the right, because this is where it starts right here on the left side. Okay, highlight effects, and then also sort options, check personal, and then sort type, apply time. Okay, reason why we do this, watch my buffs here now, right? In the place of, sprint, as soon as I force charge, the brawn is going to be right here, watch. Right here, so brawn, 3 seconds, okay? So, I usually try to keep track in my head, like every time I leap, like, I count to myself 2, 3, 4, and then I'll do something else that'll help me get another charge off, or help me, keep up that free uptime. So when you're practicing rotation on the dummy, you can practice for PvP, like doing your rotations here for PvP. So just as an example, like we can charge, do some skills, count to 4, hit a choke, which is 4 more seconds of free uptime, right? When choke expires or whatever, you can root them with the ravage and kite away, so you can get another choke, or mad dash out, leap in again, or push, or whatever it is, okay? But as you're sitting here practicing on the dummy, like I would practice like throwing in all these other like side utility skills that you really don't use when you're practicing a DPS rotation, just so you can get used to hitting your defensive abilities like as you go in, so a lot of times I'll even open with a reflect too, just charge in, wait a couple seconds, hit the reflect, because people, a lot of burst comes in the openers of people's skills too, depending on what class you're fighting. But anyway, so here we go. I'm just gonna talk through it and trying to do it here. So we're gonna charge 2, 3, 4, hit a choke, whatever, get some more damage off, hit him with this, ravage root the target, okay, throw a what's it called, saber throw out there. Usually I would have this cooldown up by now, as soon as I kite away from the choke and root them with the saber throw, like I would have had this up because of Warmonger, right? Because they're hitting you and you reduce the cooldown of your charge. So anyway, continuing from there, boom. Okay, come back in here, roll your skills, maybe do a push, reset your leap again, okay, more free uptime, blah, 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 and, you can practice using your mad dash when your force charge comes off. So, I'm always watching, as I'm fighting, I'm always watching this cooldown right here of force charge. So, when I know that it's getting close, like I'll mad dash away and then force charge right back in, free uptime. Okay, and we took the lower point in choke here, so that we can choke again. Okay, get more free uptime in here, and just keep going like that. Okay. Oh shit, I'm in trouble. Hit my saber ward. Okay, root them with the saber throw, so you can kite backwards and get back in here and leap again. Okay, roll the hots, or the dots. I'm sorry. Okay, ravage root. Kite back away. Normally I would have this cooldown up because I'm being attacked, right? But I'm pretending right now. Okay, leap back in. Okay, do this. Oh look, force push is off cooldown. Okay, force push, leap back in. You guys get the idea, right? Mad dash is coming off cooldown. Let's wait for a force charge to come off cooldown so we can use the mad dash force charge combo at the same time, right? If I was in a real fight, I would have it up by now. Okay, mad dash away, force charge in, okay, so on and so forth. You guys get the idea. Alright guys, so here's a good example of using your defensive cooldowns and stuff. I got into this unranked match. My team has 3, they have 4. And because I was able to survive for so long, we ended up winning this round actually. But I'm going to go ahead and slow the video down here so I can talk about it. Actually, I'll just go ahead and let it roll out in real speed, and then I'll slow it down and talk about it after. Yeah, let's see if you guys notice the things that I'm trying to do here. I'm dead. Alright, so everything in arenas happens so quickly, so I'm going to slow down the video here and talk through like each cooldown. So I'm trying to just survive for as long as I can while we try to kill the mercenary here, right? 3 versus 4. So I jump in here, get my CC immunity damage reduction going, I pop my saber reflect, I start reflecting some damage. Smuggler and PT open on me, so I use my intimidating roar, AoE CC that stops both of their actions. The merc gets away from me, but I don't want to use mad dash here because I don't want to break the CC that I put on. So I get up to him, I choke him. Okay, start rolling some skills. He throws up his reflex, so I hit him with the slam instead of a direct attack, so it doesn't reflect damage back to me. I get CC'd here, and I'm just gonna sit through it because I don't have full resolve. I mad dash away, endure pain plus med pack combo to get my health back to full. Throw up my saber ward because they're tunneling me. Stay on this merc. He doesn't have any defensive cooldowns anymore, so I try to stay on him. Smuggler hard stuns me. I CC break it. Or Scoundrel, sorry. CC break it. Stay on the merc. Okay, I have full resolve right now, and I'm just waiting to get a little bit lower before I use my enraged defense. So now it's running. I'm getting my health back up. Okay, and then the Scoundrel comes after me again. I don't want to deal with him, so I push him away. Try to get on the right target, which is the sorcerer in this case, right? So try to get on him. I tried to kite backwards here to get a leap off, but he's walking towards me, so I throw the saber throw at him, root him in place, and then go ahead and get the charge off. And now I'm just trying to deal as much damage as I can before I die. So AoE slam here. Okay, then start applying the rest of my rotation on the Sork. We force his bubble before I finally go down. And win or lose doesn't really matter here. Like, it's 3 versus 4. I just wanted to live as long as I could, and I'm pretty sure that I was like really close to doing as best as I could. Like, looking back at it now, I think I could have maybe used an intercede to the sniper who was like way back there before I died. Maybe I could have interceded to him and tried to run away a little bit to stay alive a little bit longer and make them chase me. But overall, I think I did a pretty good job of using the cooldowns, even though people are tunneling me. And then we ended up winning this round. So yeah, that's just an example there. Alright, you guys, that's going to do it for this Vengeance Juggernaut guide. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Please leave a like and a comment if you did, and if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe to the channel. I have a lot more videos coming in the making, even some healer guides, because I'm playing a lot of healers now too. But yeah, and then let me know in the comments if you guys want to see something specific. I can start working on that. But that's going to do it for this one, and I'll see you guys on another one. Peace.